all of the Johns that came to the building went in this alley, and that alley, this alley is city-owned. The city owns that alley.
Okay.
Okay, and if you look at the way it's laid out with the granite, that's typical of New Orleans sidewalk pieces. So this goes back, straight back, all the way where you see that car, and then it crosses on the back side of this building, which we'll see. So anyone that came here when Norma was in business would walk to that first window, and then ring a bell here to move inside.
Thank you. Thank you. Good.
So they would come here, and she lived in this apartment, and ring the bell.
That's Norma.
And then she would meet him at this window, and she was interesting. She went to all of the graduating classes for the policemen and memorized their face, and then knew if there was going to be a raid, if they were coming here to raid. So
She dressed up as a little old lady and sit at the lunch counter.
she was really street smart
And beautiful.
and here's pictures of her, and that's a picture when she was operating out of here. But so she would make sure she wasn't going to be raided, which she would have known she would have been raided anyway, because she was paying off the police and the politicians. And so and we're going to see that as we go back, the policemen or whoever would come down this alley because they were walking their beat, because the city owned the alley. And so she would have a money drop in a paper bag and pay them out the back. But anyway, swinging back here, so you wouldn't get past here to get in the back, because everyone went in the back door, which we're going to see, because that's
absolutely.
And we'll talk about some of this other.
That's a famous image of a Storyville prostitute.
This is we did a total renovation, and I guess we could just look at a picture and see what it looked like. What it looked like when I bought it.
I remember when you were renovating it, when it was empty. It'd been empty for years.
You could see, and I'm not sure. I'm looking at it upside down, but that was working on the wall, and then I'm looking at here's this freaking wall was open, which drove me crazy because it was open for a couple of weeks. Oh, wow. And of course we got vagrants. It was weird, and then that's when it was finished. And this is in the patio where we got rid of all, because this place was furnished, and got rid of all the furniture. And again, I'm looking at it upside down. I don't know what that.
And that's after?
Okay, yeah. So that's what I was trying to do. But anyway, that's just some general stuff. While we're here to talk about Bellocq. Bellocq was here from 1895 to 1906. And the irony of this is he was the famous photographer that if you took a photographer class anywhere certainly in Europe, but here and anywhere, he was famous for his black and whites. And that's what this book is of. In fact, I'm gonna roll it up to the famous photo, and we'll talk about that. But anyway, so these are his black and whites, which the people who are in photography that study it, this is like a big deal.
Right.
You could be in Italy and whoever is in photography, they're going to know this guy. Anyway, he was here, and he had a brother, which Ironically, he was a Jesuit priest. And so now we swing back to E.J. Bellocq. Storyville was 2 blocks away. He was a photographer to take the pictures of the brothels, and they created I think it's called a red book.
Yeah,
You may know that.
The blue
I saw
book.
that.
The red book, then they put it out during Mardi Gras.
You mean the directory of the brothels?
Yes.
It was called the Blue Book.
Blue book.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, he was part of the picture taking. This EJ. And he would bring the girls here, the prostitutes, and film them. He would film them in the and set it up like this. So he didn't want anyone to know that he brought these girls here. So he clouded the back with various things and pictures, and he just kind of set the background. The one interesting thing too, actually, when we painted, when I had this done, we changed this to red. It was black and white, which you see in that book. But the head prostitutes, which wasn't Norma, was the only person to wear these stockings. Okay, silk stockings at the time. These little chairs, if you bought furniture, the furniture guy would come up in or whatever, and then you would look at these little chairs. That's like displays, because they couldn't put all the chairs on a carriage. So that's what you looked at, that's what you bought, and then you got the chair. And they added these feathers, because they wouldn't have had those feathers. They always put it like 12 o'clock, everything was 12 o'clock. And most of his girls, he put this locket on them. So that's E.J. Bellocq. Nothing to do with Norma. This is his picture. So let's go back. Originally, this place was this was an open stairwell, 3 stories. Went out on the gallery. That's a gallery. The difference is a gallery is to the street. A balcony hangs off the building. So this is a gallery, a balcony. Most people call it a balcony.
If you see poles, it's a gallery.
All right, so you went up 3 stories, and so when we renovated it, we wanted to kind of keep that look. So that's what you see straight up. And all of the rooms, main house, were on the right. So you would go up. This would be that would be the parlor. This would be the dining room. The slave quarter was where they cooked the food. So they'd bring it into here and feed the people who own this place. So anyway, you go upstairs, bedroom, bath. You go out back to use the bathroom. They call it a PV because we didn't plumbing then. So that should be able to show you in the back. There were 3 different buildings. You had the main building separated, which is no longer, to the slave quarter or the service wing, 2-story, downstairs kitchen, upstairs they lived. And then you had the carriage house. Okay, now we swing back to the drive. So they had carriages that would come down the carriage, turn in the patio, and come in, which we're going to see, come in the back with the mules and the carriages in the back. So the reason for 3 different buildings is because the French Quarter burned, and they separated them for fire reasons. Over the years, it kind of got blended. Excuse me. Pretty much everything's the same here.
Thank you.
Not from the original building. This wouldn't have been here, and this wouldn't have been here, because it was dealing with the 3 different buildings. But somewhere along the line, really, I think, before Norma got here, these were added, and this was the bathrooms and showers. And we kind of changed it around, but generally that's what it was. When Norma was here, this was a kitchen. There was a pair of French doors here, so she could get out to the patio. This was called, that was called the parlor, and this was called a showroom. And the reason she liked this building was so successful is because you couldn't see in from that side, and you couldn't see in from this side. So she ran a car from that building, that building, all the way to the other building, and draped it, because on a Saturday night, this place would be full. The people out here, they would look for in the parlor, they would look for to see what girl they were going to go upstairs with. And then when it spilled out, it got into here, which they call the showroom. And then, you would look at some girls, and most of this was full of people drinking. And we were doing prohibition. So you came here if you wanted to drink. Okay, so she kept an office in here, and she kept all of the paperwork and money in here. And when she would get noticed that she was going to be raided, there were a series of buzzers up here, and she had like a bouncer guy, and he would ring the buzzers on code, and Eric Johns and all of the girls would come down, and then they would go this way. This was a hidden door, which we created. Which we thought would be anyway.
I love it.
They would go in this door, and they cut around back here. So this came this way, and you had to be a dumb cop to realize that was the wall that was really out on the other side, which was a space. And you can't see it because somebody rented it, but we kept the hole in the wall. And she would dump her money and her records in the hole, which ended up in the hideout. And there were no money, no Johns, no girls. Now, you would have to be a real dumb cop to let that go by. So anyway, let's swing back. So originally, you could see this as a typical arch entrance for a carriage house, right? There were two. There's one here, one there. We'll probably see it.
Makes sense.
And that was the back door where everybody came down the alley and came in.
Love it.
All right. What other unique things over here? So all of this was basically 3 buildings.